Hashtag AI News Today script. Good morning, and welcome back to AI News Daily. I'm your host, and boy, do we have some fascinating developments in artificial intelligence to break down for you today. We're talking about how AI is being weaponized against itself, how companies are automating their security operations, and why AI detectors are becoming just as important as the AI they're monitoring. Stick around as we dive into these stories. Let's start with something that sounds like science fiction but is happening right now in cybersecurity labs around the world. Researchers have figured out how to use generative AI to turn the tables on hackers. You see, malicious actors have been using AI to launch attacks faster and more effectively than ever before. But now, according to security researchers at Talos Intelligence, we can use that same technology against them. The breakthrough is something called AI-powered honeypots, and they work like digital mousetraps that are actually smart enough to adapt and learn. Here's how it works. Instead of setting up static honeypots that bad actors can easily figure out and avoid, these new systems use generative AI to rapidly create and deploy honeypots that change and evolve. Think of it like this: a traditional honeypot is a dummy computer system designed to lure in hackers. But once a hacker figures out it's fake, it loses its effectiveness. With AI involved, these honeypots can continuously adapt their behavior, making them far more convincing and far harder to detect as fake. It's essentially fighting fire with fire, and security teams are finally getting their own speed advantage back against threat actors. Now, speaking of security operations, let's talk about what's happening at the enterprise level. Command Zero Incorporated just made a major announcement that could reshape how large organizations hunt for threats. They opened their Autonomous Security Operations Center platform with new APIs and something called a Model Context Protocol Server. Now, I know that sounds like a lot of technical jargon, so let me break it down for you. Basically, Command Zero is allowing other software and systems to integrate directly with their platform. This means security teams can now automate their threat hunting investigations in ways they couldn't before. Instead of having analysts manually searching through security data, these autonomous systems can do the detective work. The platform can investigate suspicious activity, identify patterns, and escalate threats to human analysts only when needed. What this really means is that organizations can scale their security operations without hiring an army of new cybersecurity experts. For companies struggling to find and retain skilled security talent, this is a game changer. But here's the thing that keeps me up at night as we talk about all this AI advancement. As AI-generated content floods the internet, from student homework assignments to professional publications and news articles, there's growing concern about authenticity and trust. That's where AI detectors come in. These tools are designed to identify whether content was written by a human or generated by artificial intelligence. Now, Patheos recently published an important perspective on this technology. AI detectors exist, they're becoming more common, and yes, they can be helpful. But, and this is crucial, they must be used with caution. Here's why. First, these detectors aren't perfect. They can produce false positives, flagging human-written content as AI-generated and vice versa. Second, as AI language models get better, the detectors have to constantly update to keep pace. It's an arms race where the goalposts keep moving. And third, there's a real concern about how these tools could be misused. Imagine a student who writes an entirely original essay but gets accused of using AI. Or imagine a journalist whose work gets flagged as artificial. These detectors can be helpful tools for catching genuine cheating and fraud, but they shouldn't be treated as a judge and jury. They're more like a smoke detector. They alert you to a potential problem, but they don't tell you definitively what the problem is. We need human judgment to work alongside this technology, not be replaced by it. So here's what we're seeing across the AI landscape right now. On one hand, AI is becoming more autonomous, more capable, and more integrated into critical systems like security operations. On the other hand, we're developing tools to catch AI misuse and abuse. It's this constant dance between capability and safety, between innovation and responsibility. The big takeaway from today's news is this: artificial intelligence isn't going anywhere, but neither is the human element. Whether it's cybersecurity experts using AI to catch bad actors, security teams working with autonomous platforms, or people using AI detectors to verify authenticity, the technology works best when it's paired with human judgment and oversight. Thanks for watching AI News Daily. If you found these stories as fascinating as I did, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for daily updates on what's happening in the world of artificial intelligence. We'll see you tomorrow with more news from the cutting edge. Thanks for watching.